Greenwood was 19 the first time they noticed it. A little spark, sitting on the edge of their vision. It shined like a star, glowed like molten gold, and moved like a firefly. It was the most beautiful thing they had ever seen. Oak spent much of their free time chasing the spark. It led them to many things that made them happy. It didn't help them hold down a job, or even get a job for that matter. But Oak felt confident that the spark would always make them happy. It would take Oak to the beach, where they'd collect seashells and soak their feet in the ocean. It would take them to the prettiest views in the city, where all the neon lights would glow and dance in the night, and where the water would touch the pier. When the moon was full and thousands of stars were on display, the spark would lead Oak outside to look. Sometimes it led Oak to bad financial decisions. They'd spend money they didn't have on things they didn't need. Sometimes the spark would lead Oak to ice cream or other sweets. The spark, Oak realized when they turned 21, would only take Oak to things that made them happy, no matter how big or small. They had asked their mom about it at one point. She didn't know what they were talking about. Oak asked a couple other people and came to a very lonely conclusion. No one else could see this spark. People would see Oak looking somewhere far away and assume that they're a daydreamer. Oak had a certain air about them that made people keep a close eye on them in public, especially near traffic. One day, after Oak turned 23, the spark led them to a comic book store. Oak figured they'd go in and check it out. Upon entering the store, an old man greeted them. They weren't too old, late 60s at most. He asked Oak if they needed any help. Oak shook their head and said, "I'm not looking for anything, but I'll find it anyways." Oak followed the spark to the back of the store. When they got there, they couldn't seem to find something that interested them. This was odd, as the spark had always led them to something they liked. As they checked out some older Batman or Robin comics, the spark reappeared. Oak quickly turned towards the spark, only to see a guy walk around the corner. He was probably around 25, in a jean jacket, dress pants, and a white button-up dress shirt. An odd combination that he pulled off quite well. He scanned the back wall and abruptly stopped walking as he made eye contact with Oak. Oak's breath caught in their throat as they saw the man's dark brown eyes, and there, right in the stranger's eyes, was the spark. He smiled at them and walked forward. Oak couldn't stop staring at the man's eyes. This was the best look they had gotten of the spark, and it was so beautiful. The man held out his hand and introduced himself. "Hey, I'm Sam. He, him. I think you and I need to talk with some of my friends." Now, Oak had never been one to follow strange men before, but the spark was inside this man's eyes. The spark had never led them wrong before. Sam led Oak to a small local game store. The cashier, a small petite blonde with a they-them pin, greeted them. The spark was in their eyes as well. "Hi, Sam. Found another one, have you?" they greeted. Sam smiled. "Yep. Anyone in the back right now?" "Just Ashley," they responded. Sam nodded, walking towards the back. "Thanks, Andy." Sam held the door open for Oak as they stepped into the back. There was a small room with a locked door directly across from the one they just entered. There was a second unlocked door to the right as well. Sam entered the small room and immediately punched a code into the locked door. The door swung open to reveal what looked like a second store. Sitting at the front counter was who Oak assumed was Ashley. Above Ashley on the wall, there was a sign that read SS Star. Sam spread out his arms, gesturing to the whole room. Welcome to the SS Star, the secret society for searching and trailing adolescent radiance. We follow the light. Oak blue-screened for a moment before making eye contact with Ashley. She also had the spark. You see the spark? Oak exclaimed. It does kind of look like a spark, Ashley agreed. Sam nodded. It's how I found you in the store. We don't really do much. We find other people with the light and help them understand what it is and if they need anything else, like help finding a job. I know what the spark is, Oak shot back, observing some of the items on the wall. Oh, what is your spark then? Ashley asked. Oak closed their eyes and thought for a moment. It's the last rays of sunlight setting over the ocean. It's coming home after school to freshly baked cookies. It's hanging out with your friends at the skate park even though none of you skate. It's opening your stocking at Christmas and finding an orange at the bottom, then giving it to your brother because he likes oranges and you've gotten one in your stocking since you were 9. It's chasing after a memory that's long since faded and wishing that you could just remember what it was. It's smelling a pie and blowing out your birthday candles. It's the promise that no matter how old you get, some things will never change. It's hope, and it's sadness. It's everything you wish you still had. The store was silent. The words hung in the air like the smell of rain before a storm. Ashley cleared her throat. I think that was the most poetically someone has ever described nostalgia and childhood happiness. Sam laughed. What's your name again? Oak smiled and turned around. Oak Greenwood. Sam held out his hand. Hi, Oak. I think you'd be a great addition to our team. How would you like to work at the SS Star as a counselor? Oak thought about it for a moment. What would be a better way to find joy than helping others find it too? Oak grabbed Sam's hand. I think Dr. Greenwood has a nice ring to it.